Hello, children and lady children. It is us back here with another Poopcast.
Okay.
So, this one is going to be about more of some of the cryptids that is in, I guess, the fuck is that? That looks like food.
Yeah, it's pizza.
Ooh.
We had pizza.
Well.
And you ate there. So you did it. Okay.
Okay, so this one is going to be about more of the cryptids. Kind of like what we did last time. But this one ain't going to have nothing about Bigfoot in it.
We done a lot of squatching last time.
We do technically. In the future, I do have one more Bigfoot to go over. But we ain't going to talk about it right now. Alright. So, we got me, Andrew, myself, Elizabeth is here, and Mr. E.B. Ackerman, the Wolf of Pennsylvania, is also here.
How you doing?
Ready to get this started?
Yes.
Have you guys heard of the Mothman?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So, this is like the research that I've done on him. Okay? Mothman is described as a bipedal, winged humanoid. So that means he walks on 2 feet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Despite his name, which was given to him by newspapers, he is in no way moth-like. And has more of an appearance as a large humanoid owl.
Why didn't they call him Owlman then?
Because I think Mothman has a better ring to it.
It does.
Because picture this statement. I seen Mothman last night. I seen Owlman last night. Which one sounds better?
Well, either one sounds kind of weird.
Right. His coloration varies from black, gray, brown. Something like that. It's usually the darker shades. He's often reported to be 7 feet tall, with a wingspan of 10 to 15 or more, with the ability of flying up to 100 miles per hour.
Shit.
Sometimes, he is described as not having a head.
What the fuck?
Okay. And his huge eyes, his red eyes, sit in his chest.
So where his titties are?
More or less.
Oh.
These eyes are reported to be glowing, or at least very reflective. I guess that would be like, quote, brake on a bicycle, like the little red reflective lights that's on the back of them.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
on a moth, technically, don't worry about it. It's fun. I know what I want to say. I just don't know how to say it.
Right. Well, like anyone who gets a close look at Mothman seems to, as I typed, supposed to say suffer.
Oh, okay.
From extreme fear and psychological distress.
Well, I mean, if I seen a headless person with reflective red titties and big old wings, I'd be scared too. That's just me.
Well, this fear and distress could last, like, sometimes for months or years afterwards.
Oh, wow.
Okay, some people say that a sense of pure evil, like, overcomes them whenever you see his eyes. So,
I guess there's something in them, maybe.
Yep.
Well.
Pretty cool.
I've heard a lot about Mothman, like particularly from quite a few people. Like a lot of my friends go to the little festival that they have there every year in Point Pleasant. My sister is went with her girlfriend too.
Now, the funny thing is, don't they have a large statue of him?
Yeah, and
of what he is portrayed to be like?
Not really portrayed to be like. It's an artist's interpretation of him. He's got like G.I. Joe armor and like a god tier butt.
Oh.
Like the butt on this thing. My sister sent me a picture of like the statue, then next to the statue. I'm like, oh, cool, that's the statue. And then she showed me a picture of his butt.
So where is Point Pleasant?
West Virginia. It's about 4 hours away from here.
Bro.
The thing about the majority of the cryptids that I found, the majority of them is in a range of from top to bottom on the U.S. map, from around Pennsylvania down to like North Carolina. Basically, Appalachian Mountains.
Gotcha.
But yeah, then like my friends and my sister going there and talking about it. That's a big part of the culture. The culture there, a really big, prominent figure, is you know, like, I get like the tourism aspect of it. That's a big part of it, but at the same time, it's an identity for this town.
Yeah,
it's really cool to see how much everybody gets into it, and the story is rooted in everything. And it resonates with people, especially I know one thing that you said with like them showing fear after seeing this thing. One of the things that someone had mentioned is like it almost mirrors post-traumatic stress disorder. Like after they see this thing, they have nightmares, continuous nightmares about it. They have senses of paranoia, and I think that like that experience really sticks with people. Like once you see somebody have like an episode like this, that really, I know for me, it really you start to understand. Okay, this person really did something truly happen to this person, because there comes a point when you can't fake.
Yep.
This, like, I'm not gonna sit here and say, yeah, Mothman's completely real. But at the same time, you know, these people did experience something.
Yep.
And it's affected the town.
Yeah.
And so, I feel like I'm rambling.
No, that's what
you
a
make
podcast
sense.
is.
Like,
yeah.
Hang on. Let me go back
I
up
actually do remember, like, it's been years ago. Like, I used to watch the Travel Channel a lot, and I think it was the Travel Channel, something like that. Like, it would just be, like, haunted stuff, just weird stuff in general. And it talked about the Mothman, and that's where I heard about, you know. What is it? Pleasant. What was it?
Point Pleasant.
Point Pleasant, yeah.
I said Pleasant Park.
Which brings me to another funny thing. We do have a Fortnite video that I have to post.
But I seen that, and I think they have like they've really embraced the culture and all that, and they have like stores and stuff where they have like t-shirts and just little you know, figurines of them.
I know our whole last podcast was about Bigfoot.
Cryptids.
Okay.
Yeah, that too. Squatches.
Well, like the most infamous Bigfoot ever is the Ohio Grassman. That's what a lot of people talk about in like people who study Bigfoots, big feetses. You all know what I mean? That's one of the first ones that they talk about. Now there's another one. There's another city somewhere, but I don't remember what it is. But it's like,
truthfully, I didn't know there were like different types of Sasquatch until the research.
Yeah,
before we were doing this.
Like, truthfully, I watched the show, okay? Every single monster they mentioned, I typed it, wrote it down, and then done research on trying to find anything about the monsters. And if it was a actual article on the monster and not as seen in such and such show, that's the ones that I kept.
Yeah.
There was a lot of them that was just like as told in this show.
Yeah.
It's said to be, and then I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing a video like that.
No.
Like, I'm not having a video like that. But on to the next monster. Where would you guys like to go?
What is below that? Well, it doesn't really matter to me.
Let's do Jersey Devil.
That'll work.
He has... I sincerely like his story.
Oh yeah,
he sounds cool. I've heard of him. I'm just not. I'm not educated on the
story.
Yeah.
Well, you about to be.
Learn. That is strong.
You
Learn me.
Today.
Learn
me
me.
today. All right. The Jersey Devil, or the Leeds Devil. Okay. It is said that he is a creature that is native to the Pine Barrens area of New Jersey. Okay. It's often described to have hoofs, a snake's tail, bat wings, and a head that looks like a horse or a deer.
What in the world?
It's a big mishmash of like animal parts that people just crammed together and made a monster.
A chimera.
Okay? While there are many stories detailing the origin of the devil, the Jersey Devil, sightings have been reported beginning in the 1700s. Long time ago.
Oh, shit.
Okay? Continuing on into the last decade. The creature is deeply rooted in folklore and legend in the area, which is kind of like the Mothman, but it's in New Jersey, in that area. It's still mildly popular in various media, from sports teams to video games. It's still being reported as being seen, but all of the old like characteristics are not being applied to the new creatures that are being seen. So I guess it's like they're seeing something different. Hang on.
What?
Okay, so
real professional.
So the new reports are being described as hairy humanoids that resemble Bigfoot, like mystery
oh my
birds.
God!
Listen, mystery birds and eastern cougars. So it's basically like somebody is either seeing a Bigfoot, a random like bird-looking thing, or a big cat. Is basically what everybody's saying now. One sighting described a hairy humanoid with a deer's head and glowing red eyes.
Do they realize how that sounds?
It sounds very far-fetched and like people are making shit up.
Yeah.
Okay? This is the origin story. You ready?
I'm listening.
The origin of the legend is that a woman named Jane Leeds, which is why they sometimes call him the Leeds Devil. Okay? She's also known as Mother Leeds. The legend states that Mother Leeds had 12 children, and after finding out she was pregnant for the 13th time, she cursed the child in frustration.
I don't see how it's the child's fault.
Because 13 is unlucky number.
She should have been doing something else with her time.
As I say, she needs a TV.
That's fine.
Okay?
They didn't have TVs
Crying.
back then.
Crying that the child would be the devil, okay? During 1735, she was in labor on a stormy night while her friends gathered around her.
Mm-hmm.
Born as a normal child, the 13th child changed. He grew hooves, he had a goat's head, bat wings, and a forked tail. Okay? Growling and screaming, it beat everyone with its tail and then flew up the chimney and into the pine barrens.
Well,
That's kind of a different version of the story that I've heard.
What's
But
your
it's somewhat similar, very somewhat similar. So, yeah, all they
That's
had
just
said,
the one. That's the one that I found.
all they had said in the one that I had heard was, Mother Leeds said that if she can't give birth to a healthy child, let it be a devil. And then it was kind of ambiguous as to what happened from that point on, other than the fact that it had been allegedly documented throughout history. Like there's a group that an original name, the Jersey Devil Hunters. Which I mean, to fair credit, I'm not throwing shade at them, but I don't think I could have named it anything better because I suck at naming stuff. But anyway,
Spicy Ankles is
Spicy.
amazing though.
Which, for real, for what they're doing,
yeah,
the name suits them perfect.
God,
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. But yeah, they had a website at one point in time that chronicled a bunch of different sightings going back to some of the earlier sightings to some of the most recent at that time. And I think the first time I'd ever heard of it, I was a kid. It was something on Animal Planet, and somebody had mentioned the Jersey Devil. But and it never really went beyond that. But it wasn't until Scariest Places on Earth,
That I've seen that.
the Jersey Devil episode,
Yeah.
where the Jersey Devil hunters go into the Pine Barrens with a descendant from the Leeds family, allegedly, because I mean it's TV, you can't really trust it. But yeah, allegedly something had happened there, and the leader of the group refuses to talk about it. But I know one thing that I will say I thought was kind of funny in the episode. They come across bones, and it's got the title card, Fresh Kill. And then, here comes the announcer lady. While going through the Pine Barrens, they come across an animal carcass. The bones are bleached, so that's not a fresh kill. They'd been there for a while. Not really something that I would
They've
consider.
been there for months.
Yeah, not really something I would consider nightmare. This could have been had by anything.
Yeah.
Because truthfully, not saying that I know a lot about the way bones age, but I would just assume it would take months of the bones being soaked in sun, like sunlight,
Yeah.
for them to bleach, like to be pure white the way they like portray skeletons.
When he said bleach, all I thought about was somebody cleaning the bones in like straight Clorox bleach.
But the bones were white.
Yeah.
Like they
From
didn't
the
have
sun.
a lot of, well, not just from the sun. Like, if you would leave bones out to decay, they would still have that natural look to them. Like there would be a lot of browns. There would be some greens and stuff on the bones.
Yeah.
Kind of like red tint from blood and stuff.
Yeah.
Like they wouldn't be really, really clean. These bones were relatively clean from what I had seen. Granted, they were using night vision, but
So
they
they're
looked
planted.
relatively clean.
They're planted there.
They looked planted.
Yeah.
But that's also not me discounting the Jersey Devil. like I think I might have said it in the last podcast. It's been a minute since then, but we discover new things on planet Earth every single day.
Yeah.
You know, and
me and Caitlin earlier today we went to Whitesburg, and we actually was talking about I'm like Caitlin. I want your honest opinion, and I want this to be either a discussion or a debate. First thing I asked, and I don't want to go off on this topic, is not in this episode because I really would like to do one about underwater creatures too. Do you believe Megalodon was a thing?
Yeah.
And Caitlin goes, I believe that there is a chance that he was a thing, yes. And I'm like, well, do you believe he's still around today? And then she goes, well, and she couldn't have took the words out of my head any better. She goes, for them to name one thing, there had to have been several.
He probably retired.
Here I am being serious. And you be normal Beth. Because what I'm getting to is I actually said earlier that this world has not discovered everything that's here.
No.
Like there's more mammals, there's more birds, there's more stuff underwater, there's more types of insects.
Yeah, we've explored more in space than we have in our own oceans.
And to me that's good to know what's out there.
Yeah, but we need to know
what's
down here.
But you gotta have scientists working in different places. You can't just have all of them, hey, go to space, hey, go to the rainforest, look for different animals.
Yeah. That old Loch Nessie comes up and kills all of us.
Water's fine. We'll check that later.
I also think this could be. There's a thing with legends. They almost serve as a cautionary tale. Because you have this preconceived idea of danger. Not saying that it's something worth discrediting and things like that, because you stop and think about it, the woods, especially, I think I can't remember what it said, but the Pine Barrens is a pretty big place. A lot of wooded area right there that is still mostly uninhabited. I think a tale like the Jersey Devil could also be a bit of a thing to scare people out of going in there. Like, hey, there was some bad things that could happen to you in there. Maybe if I tell them this story, they won't go in there and, mess around. Which is always a possibility with any urban legend. You look at some of your most famous urban legends and you trace it back to a single event that thus leads this into being a very cautionary tale. But at the same time, I'm not going to rule out the possibility of a creature because of everything that was just said. We don't know. There's not been extensive research done into it, and people that will actually put the time and effort into researching it, other than being like, this is fake, I'm not doing that, I don't want to waste my time, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Well, you thought giant squids were a myth for the longest time, and then, sure enough, one of them showed up off the coast of Japan, it's like,
hey.
What about that now?
Back to the Megalodon thing. People actually didn't believe in him for a long time, and then they seen gigantic skeletal structures of a great white shark, which is basically what he is. He's a big ass great white. Don't know. Could he be real?
Probably.
Well,
I believe there's a chance in
that. Truthfully, I enjoy doing this podcast.
Mm-hmm.
This one especially, because like ever since I watched that show, I've become more interested in different cryptids around this place than I ever have been, and literally found the show last year. I enjoy the thought of there being a hairy man up in the mountains. That sounds weird.
I mean, we got one that lives on Pine Top.
Jesus, Beth.
Oh, Melvin.
She means Melvin.
I literally call him Sasquatch.
Who knows? His name could actually be Daryl. We don't know.
I love that commercial. Oh my god.
What'd you call me?
Bigfoot?
My name's Daryl.
Oh
But,
god.
Like, I like the thoughts of there being different creatures rather than what we're used to. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like our typical house cat. Okay? Typical, like, domestic cat. Okay? There are creatures that are different forms of that cat. Like, yeah, there's domestic animals like cats, and they're very polar opposites in lions and tigers. Okay? Like dogs. And you ready for this? The smoothest transition to the very opposite spectrum.
Wolves.
Hellhounds.
That's not what... No. Cats and lions. Dogs and hellhounds.
Yeah.
That's not... Okay, I get what you're working. I get what angle you were trying to do.
I don't think it worked as well as I thought it.
No.
Because I cut it off and I'm like, smoothest transition ever. That ruined it.
It also doesn't... It's fine, whatever.
It
Anyway.
doesn't work, I know.
Hellhounds.
Alright, so. The Hellhound. We're not going based off the TV show Supernatural. For one.
Don't diss it.
I'm not dissing it.
You better
But-
not. I'll fight you.
Like, I'm not dissing it, don't get me wrong. Okay, you ready?
Yes.
It's a supernatural canine found in folklore.
And supernatural. Sorry.
Sometimes known as black dogs.
Mm-hmm.
A wide variety of ominous, or hellish supernatural dogs occur in mythology around the world. Okay? Features that have been attributed to the hellhounds includes black fur, red or yellow glowing eyes, super strength or super speed, and like ghostly or phantom characteristics.
Mm-hmm.
I guess like they move fast, blend into shadows, stuff like that. A foul odor,
Probably sulfur or rotten eggs.
and sometimes even the ability to talk.
The fuck?
Okay?
Since when?
Okay, like I said,
What?
we're not going off the show, so
Sorry.
don't refer it to the show.
Okay, sorry.
Okay?
Sorry,
This is like a
sorry.
folklore thing.
Gotcha, I'm listening.
Okay?
I haven't heard that though, that's cool.
There is a famous Greek hellhound named...
That I didn't know.
Yeah, you did. You
Did
know what
I?
his name is? Cerberus.
Oh, the three-headed one!
Yes. And the legend says
Okay.
that
I didn't know he could talk.
if someone is to stare into its eyes 3 or more times, the person will definitely die.
3 or more?
Yeah.
Oh.
Like, say you see it on different occasions,
Okay.
and you like lock eyes.
God, what are the
Odds
yeah.
in cultures that associate the afterlife with fire, hellhounds may have fire-based abilities or appearances. Okay, they are often assigned to guard the entrances to the world of the dead, such as graveyards and burial grounds, or undertake other duties related to the afterlife, or the supernatural, such as
collecting souls.
hunting lost souls.
I knew that one.
Guarding a supernatural treasure.
Mm.
In Appalachia, however, a different breed of hellhound is thought to roam, mostly in Kentucky. So this one's about us.
Oh, Lord.
Okay? It's said to have blackish blue fur, a mane that runs halfway down his back, and large paws that look strikingly like a black bear's front paws. Okay? It does not seem to have relation to religion, but rather called the Kentucky Hellhound because it wreaks havoc on the livestock around here. According to that show, I'm going to relate this back there. They done a whole episode in Pike County, in Pikeville. Over the Kentucky Hellhound there.
Well.
Interesting.
Is that where the sightings has been?
This is one of the ones that didn't really have sightings. So for me to know more, I'd have to
do more research.
Do a lot more research on trying to find sightings.
And that's kind of a questionable thing with it not having a lot of sightings, but they go to a random place. So they just go to a random place and they're just like, hey, let's set up here.
On the show, okay, they have one guy plus a team that does the research on the different types of animals or cryptid creatures.
Mm-hmm.
They relate the episodes to the places where there have been the most sightings. I personally, with my research, found none.
Yeah.
The website that I use is Cryptid Wiki. That's the one that I found that has the most stuff on it.
Mm-hmm.
Which, if that's anything like Wikipedia, it's probably a bunch of it's full of shit. Not even gonna lie. But with the rest of them, at least, there is a whole section of hundreds and hundreds of sightings. I scrolled down to the bottom of the page and it did have a sightings thing, and there was a bunch of them, but I never really read more than like 2 or 3 of them. No, not. I've done that same thing with the rest of them because I wasn't trying to relate it to a place, just the animal. So I would read the first few to see if they both portrayed it to look the same.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't remember if any of the ones they said was in Pike County. So I don't know.
Another thing this really reminds me of is an animal in English folklore called the shuck. I've heard it called black shuck, or old shuck. It's pretty much the same thing.
Gazoon type. What am I?
Corn shuck.
But it's pretty much the same thing. It's a large black dog with very pronounced contrasting eyes and bared teeth and everything.
Yep.
And a lot of people consider it either a portent of death, like an omen that they're going to die soon or something like that. Other people say that it's really friendly and docile and things like that. And there's actually, he's a friend of mine.
The dog is?
No.
Oh.
That would be killer, though.
Oh.
There's a good friend of mine who believes that he had an encounter with such an animal.
Oh.
And if I can find his video that he talked about it, I'll link it to you guys so you can put it in the description.
I'd like to watch that.
But I think if we could try to get him on a day where he's free to talk, we could see if he could talk about it. But you see this also kind of thing of this dark dog, in a lot of modern media and things like that. Like there is an SCP from the SCP Foundation, which granted it's all fake, but there's one of the SCPs that's pretty much the same thing. It's a dog that kind of skulks this little area of land, particularly at a crossroad, I believe. And if I remember the story correctly, the person that sees the dog, it's either them or a person in their family will die of, I think, a heart attack or something exactly a year later.
Oh wow!
Damn. But the thing, the basic is still there. A large black dog that is important to death. It's really interesting. And I don't know, maybe it just kind of taps into some kind of primordial fear that we have of things that look creepy. Like, you know, you run into like this large shaggy dog on a dark night and it's dark, and you know, first thing you notice, it's like the first thing we're trained to notice is something's eyes.
Yep.
Like some kind of weird connection, like those being the windows to the soul or something like that. A lot of emphasis put on that.
Being truthful, the first time that I ever looked at Lily at dark, by the way, I have 6 dogs. The first thing that I always look at is their eyes. Mm-hmm. Always. Day or night. Because I feel you can get how a dog is feeling at the time by the look of their eyes. Granted, I have 2 puppies that every time you look at them, they look sad. Mm-hmm. Whether they're playing, eating, whatever. Both of them look sad. Mm-hmm. But, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's just something that taps into that, like, creepy side of us. Things that gives us the heebie-jeebies. And things like that. That also could be a cautionary tale. Like, hey, don't run around at night. Black Shuck's out there. Or the Hellhound's out there. Which, granted, Hellhound sounds more, than Black Shuck.
That just sounds fun. Black Shuck's out there.
Black Shuck sounds like a rotten, like, cornstalk.
Ain't we... Yeah, it does. Ain't we, like... Humans are, like, bad to find faces and things, too.
Yes. Yeah.
Because, honestly, there's like
in the funniest sense, you brought up the SCP thing. Uh-huh. We're actually going to do a podcast over some of them later.
Oh, cool.
Yep, SCP-409, or 409.
Oh, 409.
Yep, he's on there.
No.
So,
I always liked him.
Listen to this. Brian makes me and you look dumb.
We make ourselves look dumb.
No, you make yourself look dumb.
Ackerman.
He uses so many big ass words. Like, when has me or you used the word cautionary in the last week?
I've never wanted to.
Okay. With that face, okay. Go ahead, what you saying? No, who was talking? Something about the face.
Pareidolia.
What?
Pareidolia.
We find faces and things.
Like I said.
In there, in the bathroom, there's like a little smudge on,
the toilet?
No.
In the toilet.
Buddy, that's brown. It's crazy.
No.
It looks like a face.
There's a smudge on like one of the, one of the cabinets that we got the towels and stuff in. And I don't know what it is, but it's like a black smudge that I guess something scraped up against it. But it looks like there's a face on it.
Really?
And I look at it all the time, and I'm like, hey,
I want to see it.
There's a face.
So are we, like, thinking the same way of, like, say you look at a plug-in and it looks like somebody's surprised?
Yeah.
Maybe. And also, I think there's, like, the way the wood is, like, there's, like, circles in the wood or whatever.
In the living room?
No. It's actually in the bathroom, in the shower.
Okay.
It looks like a gorilla face, a herd face.
Ooh, buddy.
Ooh, but look at the herd on that guy.
Now,
anyway.
At work, in the bathroom, okay?
Yeah.
Where we got the towels.
Why are we obsessed with bathrooms?
Like when you go to work Monday,
mm-hmm.
Look in there. the rails that the things you're tied
I've
to.
already looked at it.
Every other one looks like a little smiley face there.
Yeah.
Every other one.
And one of them's a Cyclops face.
What?
It's like a normal face, Cyclops face. Normal face.
I'm going to have to look more when I go to work, apparently.
Yeah. What? Yeah, we're just obsessed with bathrooms here. Anyway.
But yeah, something that's like that. We tend to gravitate towards something's face. So you see something out in the woods, and you look at its face, and particularly if you could see its eyes, and its eyes are very pronounced. That's like one thing that's almost burned into your soul, like the eyes, man.
Yeah.
So I do think that this was actually something that somebody did witness at one point in time, and it just stuck. Like it became that local legend.
Being truthful, there's a really good chance that this began as somebody seeing a black wolf.
Okay.
Like, this is just my portrayal.
Uh-huh.
I could see this whole thing being started as there being a solid black wolf out there that if the light glares the right way, it glows. What color did this say? Red?
It said red or yellow.
Yeah.
Something like that.
I could see it glaring right and showing up red. Because like Nimbus's eyes, if you barely hit a glance on them, they're red. Lily's is blue. Okay, Macy, hers glares yellow. Like, I could just see a portrayal of somebody being out. They witness a big black wolf. The moon hits it the right way. His eyes show up yellow. And it scared the shit out of them.
Yeah.
And then being like, oh, like
this
looks like something straight from hell.
I would call it hellhound. See, it makes you wonder, like, is this like something truly, like, is it real? Or is this just one big game of telephone? Like it being passed down the line and something's added to it each time, something's taken away, and like you just come up with something entirely different, like each decade.
Which could 100% be going back to the like Jersey Devil. While there's so many portrayals of the way his head looks, so many portrayals of the way his body looks, so many portrayals of whether he has hair, whether he don't, whether he has wings, whether he don't, whether it's a goat's head, deer head, horse head. Yeah. But the one thing that it always sticks with is he has a forked tail and hooves. That's the one thing it always keeps. But I think the last one we are going to do tonight, whatever, is going to be one that I mentioned this to you guys a while ago, and you guys don't really know nothing about it. Okay. This one is called a sheep squatch. No relation to Sasquatch at all. I don't know how they came up with the name. Alright, so sheep squatch, also known as the white thing, very original, I know. Is a wool-haired cryptid reported across numerous counties in West Virginia, predominantly within the southwestern part of the state. Okay. It is described as a quadruped, which is
all fours.
Okay. About the size of a bear. Now picture a sheep.
A bear sheep?
As big as a bear. I opened GIMP and I didn't mean to. Go away. Go away. Go away. Okay. So, it's reported to be the size of a bear with entirely white wool-like fur. So it's very very sheep-like, I guess. Like one of the wool sheep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It says it has a long, pointed head, similar to a dog's head, but with long, like saber-like teeth hand. What the hell did I write?
Teeth hand?
Wait.
What have you done?
I don't know.
What have you done? Teeth hands.
Okay, so basically what this thing is, okay?
Yeah.
It's a big animal that has the horns of a sheep. It has like the feet, and it actually has a tail like a possum.
What?
It's weird, okay? It is reputed to smell like sulfur.
Reputed?
There's a good chance that was supposed to be reported.
Okay. Sulfur?
Okay. Yeah. Which has been attributed through folklore to the beast being born within the TNT area of Mason County. Okay? Like a Mothman theory.
Okay.
With, like the way they smell. TNT is, of course, a explosive.
Yeah.
And I guess when black powder burns, it kind of has like a sulfur smell to it. I'm thinking. Well.
You know what else smells like that?
What?
Demons. Show I can reference supernatural.
Sulfur?
Yeah, supernatural.
So, pretty much what they're thinking is that this animal has a scent gland that emits a smell. Kind of like a skunk.
Or a billy goat.
More or less.
God almighty, them stink
Okay,
so bad.
Pretty much what they're saying that this monster is it intimidates people by making a loud roar, which makes absolutely no sense because sheep don't roar. And it headbutts stuff with its horns.
So it's just a sheep.
The way they portrayed it on the website was it's literally a big sheep that is aggressive and is a carnivore. Well, a omnivore. It eats plants
and
plus meat.
So it's a bully.
Yeah. Okay, so that one, I think, truthfully, is a little more far-fetched.
Yeah.
Than any of the rest of them. Like, I think the Sheep Squatch is more far-fetched than Mothman.
Yeah, that one sounds kind of stupid. It's like everybody else is telling stories. I want to tell one too. I'm gonna make up one, but it's gonna be like, it's kind of like Can I copy your homework? Yeah, but change it up so it's not like you copied it. You know?
Oh my god, big sheep. Oh my god.
Wait. Plants and vegetables? Oh. Okay, wait.
Vegetables and plants.
I'm gonna eat that, but I'm also gonna eat meat too. Oh my god.
I think that there is always a chance of something being real, okay?
Yeah.
With me, a big thing is seeing is believing, okay?
Yeah,
I want there to be
how I
that
am
chance. Too. Like, I want there to be that chance of me being able to witness something out of the ordinary.
Like the sheep squatch.
Well, that's not even what I mean. Like, with the whole cryptid thing.
Yeah.
Like, I want to be able to see something that does not look right.
Something you can't explain.
Like, say you go up in the mountains.
Mm-hmm.
You're hiking, you're walking around, you look down toward, or like up toward the peak of the mountain. You look down a little ravine, a little ditch, like hidden where water's made it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what them are called. Stream thing.
Sure.
You know what I mean. Like you look down one, and you see something moving.
Mm.
So you squint a little bit to make your eyes focus better.
Yeah.
And by the time you squint, it's gone. Okay? Your mindset goes to, 1, did I really see that? 2, I know that I did. Can I explain it? Okay?
What, just seeing something moving?
Well, what I mean is, like, we all know how possums look. We know how raccoons look. We know how deer look. We know how bears look.
Yeah.
We know how all that shit looks. You see something in the mountains that is solid white and big.
Just something you've never seen. Yeah.
Like, you're nowhere around where sheep are. Like, say, back behind the house. If I ever look back there, behind my house, not beside it, because I do have something big and white beside my house. It's my dog.
Yeah.
But if I look behind my house and see something bear-sized, that's white and has big horns eating, okay? My first thought is going to be, 1, did I really see that? 2, I know I seen it. Can I prove that that's something else before I start thinking, what the hell could that be? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You
I know
don't.
what you mean. Yeah, I got you.
I want
Yeah.
that situation to happen.
See that yeah.
Like, I want there to be something that I see personally that I can't explain. I want it to happen.
See, same but paranormal mostly with me.
Well, see, I could deal with paranormal. I could deal with something in nature. I could deal with. This is going to sound very morbid. I could deal with seeing somebody running down the road, split with their chest split wide open, running full speed, and me be like, did I really see that? And the next thought would be, just in case I really did, I better call somebody, make sure they're okay.
Wait, if that's happening, I don't think they'd be running.
That's not the point of what I'm trying to say. I want there to be something that I can be like, did I really see that?
Yeah.
Can I explain what that was?
Mm-hmm.
Do I know what that was?
Mm-hmm.
Or am I just, I know that I've seen
crazy.
something, but I can't explain it.
Yeah.
Has either one of you two seen something that you can't really explain, like nature-wise?
Oh, yeah.
What?
Elaborate, if you want to.
Please? If you don't care?
Only if you want to.
Sure. There have been several times that, because we walk in the woods all the time. There have been several times that you might think you see something, and you think from a distance, you're like, oh, okay. Like, there was one time, Dad was telling me this. My brain just shut down halfway through that. I'm so sorry.
For those of you who can't see it, which is everybody, he stuck his hand up in the air like he was about to tell a story, and then gone.
Yeah.
The story ran away.
To be fair, it is almost midnight, so...
Is it really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That could have something to do with it. But anyway, okay. So, Dad had said that there was at one point in time, he was riding like a 4-wheeler in the back of a truck with one of his friends or something like that, and he's like, you could almost see something like it was trying to keep up with them from a distance. Some kind of creature. Didn't know what it was. To this day, he doesn't know what it was. And it was like, the more he tried to describe it, the less and less he gave. So even he didn't really know what it was. And you know, I've ran into some very similar things. Like you'll think you'll see something out of your peripheral vision, like when I'll be walking. You'll look, and you'll either not see something, or you'll see something that's like, well, it might be there, it might be some kind of animal, or like, yeah, my brain just shut down again. I keep thinking of the story of me seeing the mountain lion. But, you know, we've all experienced weird things in the forest, or in the woods and stuff.
It's straight up the whole thing of being out there.
Yeah.
And your mind plays tricks on you a lot of the times, too.
Yeah.
Mountain Blapper might come out and get you.
We need to do that, by the way.
Yeah, we do.
But I think we're going to cut this one off right here.
Yeah, I'm about to pass out. I'm so sorry.
You're good. You're good. You're good. Don't worry. Don't worry.
Was that you or me? Might have been you.
You. Had to have been you.
Oh. That's fine.
So, we're going to cut this off here. Thanks for listening. Okay. Go check out Mr. E.B. Ackerman, the Wolf of Pennsylvania. I will leave a link to his channel in the description.
And if you want to check out the other video we did, the other podcast,
I also will link that one there too.
Yeah.
It'll be part 1 to our
Cryptids.
Let's Chat, Bigfoot, and other cryptids.
Which it was pretty much all Bigfoot, wasn't it?
Well, yeah.
Whatever.
But, thank you all so much for hanging out with us through this again. I know this is another long video. This is almost an hour. We 2 minutes.
Well, we'll be cutting some stuff out, so it might not be that much longer.
It still will be pretty long, but
yeah.
it's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. Whatever.
This is just something to listen to anyway.
Yeah, it's fine.
But we hope you guys really enjoyed it. If you would feel inclined, hit that subscribe button. Give us a like. If you don't want to, don't. Yeah. It's fine. Tell your friends about us. Or don't. It's fine. You tell that crust who's boss.
I am.
But thank you guys for watching. Thanks for hanging out with us. Well, thanks for listening. Thanks for hanging out with us. We will talk to you guys in the next one. Bye. Have a great time.
Bye.
Bye.